beings, whereas Susanta himself had already entered parinirvana. c. Also, the Buddha Sakyamuni, having become Buddha, waited 57 days before preaching the Dharma. Learning this, some bodhisattvas say to themselves, "May I turn the wheel of Dharma immediately when I become Buddha?" 2. Simultaneously preaching and converting. There are Buddhas who save beings, but in limited numbers. Thus, when the Buddha Sakyamuni turned the wheel of Dharma, Kiao Chinju was the only person to obtain the first fruit of the path, and 80,000 devas also obtained the purity of the dust-free and stainless eye of Dharma. Learning that, some bodhisattvas as here make the following wish. When I turn the wheel of the Dharma, may innumerable incalculable beings obtain the purity of the dust-free stainless Dharma eye. When the Buddha Sakyamuni first turned the wheel of Dharma, a single bhiksu, namely Kaundinya, and some devas obtained the first fruit of the path, the Sratapataphala, but nobody obtained arhathood or the body of the bodhisattvas. This is why some bodhisattvas, as here, make the following wish. When I become Buddha, may the minds of innumerable incalculable beings, by detachment in regard to things, have their minds liberated from the impurities, and may innumerable incalculable beings become irreversible in their course to supreme complete enlightenment. Question. But in all the Buddhas, the magical power, qualities and salvific activity are the same. Why then do these bodhisattvas make such wishes? Answer. A single Buddha can create innumerable incalculable bodies by transformation and save beings by them. However, in the universes some are pure and some are impure. The bodhisattvas see or hear it said that some Buddhas, by austerity, have attained abhisambodhi with difficulty and have not immediately turned the wheel of Dharma. Thus, for example, the Buddha Sakyamuni realized abhisambodhi only after 6 years od austerity, and when he first turned the wheel of Dharma, nobody obtained the body of the arhats, still less the body of the bodhisattvas. This is why these bodhisattvas, not knowing that the Buddhas are equal in power, make the wishes mentioned here in the Prajnaparamita Sutra. Nevertheless, the magical power and the qualities are identical and without difference in all the Buddhas. Ekadharmadasana. 15th section, bringing innumerable beings to arhathood by a single sermon. Sutra. The bodhisattva must practice the perfection of wisdom if he envisages thus. When I attain supreme complete enlightenment, may there be an immense incalculable sahara of Sravakas, and may a single preaching of the Dharma be enough that, in one single session, these innumerable incalculable Sravakas become arhats. Sastra. 1. There are Buddhas whose Sravakasamya is limited. Thus, the Buddha Sakyamuni had a sangha of 1250 bhiksus. The Buddha Maitreya will have a first assembly of 99 koti, a second assembly of 96 koti and a third assembly of 93 koti of listeners. These Buddha Samyas, each having their limit and the determined number, are dissimilar. This is why some bodhisattvas wish, as here, to have innumerable incalculable Sravakas as samya. 2. There are Buddhas who preach the Dharma to beings several times. At the time of the first sermon, these beings obtain the first fruit of the path, in the course of other sermons they obtain the second, third and fourth fruit of the path. Thus, when the Buddha Sakyamuni preached the Dharma to 500 bhiksus, the latter first obtained the first fruit of the path and then, on another day, they obtained the body of the arhats. Sariputra first attained the first fruit of the path, then after a fortnight, he attained the body of the arhats. When Mahakāshyapa saw the Buddha, he obtained the first fruit of the path, then 8 days later he became arhat. Ananda first obtained the fruit of Sratapana, then after having served the Buddha for 25 years and after the Buddha's parinirvana, he became arhat. Thus these arhats did not obtain the four fruits of the path simultaneously. This is why the Bodhisattva here wishes that innumerable Sravakas become arhats in a single session in the course of a single sermon of the Dharma. 16th section, leading innumerable bodhisattvas to the state of avaivartika by means of a single sermon. Sutra. May I have an immense incalculable sangha of bodhisattva mahasattvas and, in the course of a single sermon of the Dharma, may innumerable incalculable bodhisattvas become non-regressing. Sastra. This is what the bodhisattva wishes here. 1. Most often the Buddhas have Sravakas as Samgha and do not have a special Samgha of bodhisattvas, like Maitreya, Manjusri, etc. Since the Buddha Sakyamuni did not have a special bodhisattva Samgha, he entered into his Sravaka Samgha and sat there. There are Buddhas who, preaching the Dharma in reference to the single vehicle, choose for themselves an exclusively bodhisattva Samgha. Finally, there are Buddhas who have a mixed Samgha where Sravakas and Bodhisattvas are mingled. Thus, in the Buddhafield of Buddha-amita, the Bodhisattva Samgha is numerous and the Sravaka Sangha is fewer in number. This is why the Bodhisattva wishes here to have an immense Samgha of Bodhisattvas. 2. When certain Buddhas first turn the wheel of the Dharma, it happens that nobody becomes non-regressing in the progress to supreme complete body. This is why the Bodhisattva here wishes that in the course of his first sermon of the Dharma, innumerable incalculable people become non-regressing. Aparimitam ayupramanam. 17th section, obtaining the immense longevity and immense radiance of the Buddhas. Sutra. The Bodhisattva who wishes to obtain the limitless longevity and limitless radiance of the Buddha must practice the perfection of wisdom. Sastra. 1. Apparent longevity of the Buddhas. The length of life of the Buddhas is long, or short. Pai Po Che, 84,000 years. Kiu Leo Suan To, 60,000 years. Kia Nakameo Uni, 30,000 years. Kia Cho, 20,000 years. Che Kia when a little more than 100 years. Milo, 84,000 years. The ordinary radiance of Buddha Sakyamuni is 1 armspan. That of Maitreya, 10 lis. 2. Real longevity of the Buddhas. The lifespan and radiance of the Buddhas are each of 2 kinds. 1. Hidden. 2. Apparent. Those that are hidden are real. Those that are apparent are manifested for the benefit of beings. The real lifespan is limitless. The apparent lifespan is limited AMD measured for the benefit of beings. The real lifespan of the Buddhas cannot be short. Why? Because the Buddhas are endowed with causes and conditions that lead to a long life. Bako Brahma Sutta. Thus, for having once saved the life of some villagers, Po Ka Fan obtained an immense incalculable lifespan. In the world of the Brahma gods, the lifespan does not surpass a half kalpa. And this Brahmadeva Baka is alone in having an immense longevity. Thus he conceived a wrong view and said, I alone am eternally subsistent. The Buddha went to him and, to destroy this wrong view, told him a Jataka from which it emerges that Bakabrahma is enjoying such a long life for having formerly saved a village. All the more reason that the life of the Buddha should be long. The Buddha who, from lifetime to lifetime, has saved innumerable incalculable beings, either by helping them with material goods or by exchanging his life for theirs. Then why should not his lifespan surpass 100 years? Furthermore, the discipline of abstaining from taking life is the karmic cause and condition leading to a long life. In his great loving kindness, the Buddha has an affection for beings which penetrates to the marrow of the bones. He is constantly dying for beings. Why then would he destroy life? Answer. Jambudvipa being bad, the life of the Buddha there must be short. In other places that are good, the life of the Buddha would be long. Question. If that is so, the bodhisattva who is born in the palace of King Suddhodana in this Jambudvipa, who leaves home and who realizes enlightenment is the real Buddha. And in other places, by his magical power, he creates by emanation fictive Buddhas who save beings. Answer. That is not correct. Why? Because, in the Jambudvipa of the other universes, each one says to himself, the Buddha here is the real Buddha. The Buddhas elsewhere are the fictive Buddhas. How do we know that? In the Jambudvipa of the other universes, if they know that the Buddha is fictive, they would not accept his teachings or his rules with faith. Let us take a strange universe where the human lifespan is a kalpa. For these people, a Buddha of 100 years would not even have lived for a single one of the days. The people would merely scorn him and would not accept his teaching. The Buddha transforms the kalpa which these beings hold as real as he pleases. Surangama Samadhi Sutra. This is what is said in the Shu Leng Yen King. The life of the Buddha Chen Tung Pian Tchao is 700,000 incalculable periods. The Buddha Sakyamuni said to Manjusri, that Buddha is myself, and the Buddha Vairocana in turn said, the Buddha Sakyamuni is myself. From that we know that the lifespan of the Buddhas is truly limitless. In order to save beings, the Buddhas manifest a long life or a short life according to the circumstances. As you said above, the Buddha Sakyamuni who saves beings by his magical power does not have an apparent lifespan different from that of people. There is no need for him to live for 100 years. In one single day he could perform his Buddha activity. Miracle of the multiplication of fictive Buddhas. Thus, one day Ananda had the following thought. The Bhagavat Jan-teng, the Buddha yi-ts'ie-cheng and the Buddha Pai-po-che appeared during favorable ages. Their lifespans were very long and they were able to fulfill their Buddha activity. My Buddha Sakyamuni has appeared in a bad age and his lifespan will be very short. Soon there will be no more Bhagavat and he will not be able to complete fully his Buddha activity. At that very moment, the Bhagavat entered into the concentration of the rising sun and created innumerable Buddhas, as many as the rays of the sun spreading in the 10 directions, by emanation from his body. Each of these fictive Buddhas was in the universes and each one there fulfilled his Buddha activity. Some preached the Dharma, others manifested the superknowledges, others were in samadhi, others took their meals. In these many ways, they did the work of the Buddha and saved beings. On emerging from this concentration, the Buddha asked Ananda, did you see and hear all these things? Ananda answered, yes, I saw them. The Buddha asked Ananda, does the Buddha fulfill his Buddha activity by such magical power? Ananda replied, supposing that the Buddha lived only a single day, even the plants of the great earth would all be saved, and beings also. All the more reason when he lives for 100 years. From that we know that the lifespan of the Buddhas is limitless but that, in order to save beings, they manifest either a long life or a short life. Thus, when the rising sun is reflected in a body of water, it is regulated by the size of the body of water. If it is large, the reflection lasts for a long time. If it is small, the reflection quickly disappears. When the sun lights up a mountain of lapis lazuli, crystal or pearl, its reflection lasts for a long time. When fire burns plants, if the latter are not numerous, it is quickly extinguished, but if they are numerous, it lasts for a long time. On the pretext that there is no more fire in the place where it is extinguished, we cannot say that there were places where it burns for a long time. The interpretation is the same in regard to the dimensions of the Buddha's radiance. End chapter 51.